Hi guys, so this is a really fast patch notes, okay? Because they even said it's a fast patch notes. It is going to be a fast video. Uh, I just also want to say that I don't like this mustache. I don't have a razor right now, so I can't shave it. So I wish I could just get laser surgery for it. No, there's no shut up. I just had to mention that because I don't like it. So I sort of read this. I didn't read the Alistar thing, for example. So let's see. He has round stats. That's all I saw from that. So one more HP, pretty much. One more AD, and very slight AD growth. Passive Triumph Horror, 239, 139, 20 to 139 HP, double to 40 to 278 for allies, which changed to 25 to 161, double. Okay, so is this more healing? That was probably due to the nerf to Targons, because it doesn't give health regen anymore. Although they are making it so it gives health regen soon. I'm not sure if it's this one. I don't think it's this patch. Aphelios. I don't know. Apparently, there's some weird interactions. Like for example, uh, again, I don't know too much about this champion, but I've just seen little things that people saying it's a bug. Apparently, one of his attacks that consume the caliber marks no longer apply on effects on an additional time. So I was probably dealing a lot of damage depending on the build and stuff, and maybe even his own abilities. I'm not even quite sure. And his damage went down slightly lower. And same thing with his ultimate, apparently. Like again, I don't really know too much about this guy. So I mean, I've seen things like as in like he's just like auto and you win the game pretty much. So I'm pretty reserved about this. I mean, yeah, he's probably overpowered. Not a big surprise. Uh, Ezra's got a 0.1 AD ratio on his Q. Probably just because people just, I mean, the whole change with the Klepto, so the whole playstyle change. A lot of people just don't know how to play Ezreal in general, though. That's the thing. So, like, for example, when Ezreal was really strong, people were like, "Oh no, he's not strong," but that's because a lot of people play this champion as their go-to fill. Garen got a slight uh rebuff because apparently they over nerfed him. And they just gave him more point 0.2 spin damage per level, and I think that's really it. Yeah, it's just a bit more spinning per level. That's the only thing that changed, I believe. Yeah. Well, yeah. He gains what is it? Yeah, plus 0.82. Yeah, it's a bit more. So it's just a fine tune. Gnar Q 0.2 more damage ratio. He doesn't really build much ADs, but it is total attack damage. So, if he does build even like Frozen Mallet, which has very low AD, it can matter a little bit. Also his base stats. W very slight damage mid, and then a lot more later was 40. But I'm not even sure if you even max that second or third. I don't know, but that's still a risky ability to use for damage, so it's really whatever. Uh, Graves got a 2-second lower cooldown on all ranks of his E. So we're gonna see how that pans out. I'm not a big fan of Graves. I wish he just made him AD carry again. Hybridinger's apparently been broken in bot lane, and now he has what was it? It's quite a bit less damage on his Q, because it was 60 to 180. 108, 334 total. It's a very slight tune-up. It's just sometimes you would do a little bit too much damage, I guess. I mean, honestly, any damage nerf is good for this game. I'm just saying. And his E empowered lightning grenades from 150 to 350 to 100 to 300 damage, and the ability power ratio was lowered by 0.15. Like again, uh, there's not really much to say so far. I mean, it's mostly just like again, this is a very small patch and a very small video. So, I mean, I guess we'll just continue. We're just done, guys. Shaco is actually this is actually probably one of the bigger things though. Probably the biggest thing. Well, besides the Philios, is his damage with his dagger is a bit lower, 0.1 less bonus attack damage ratio and 0.05 less ability power. And the bigger change though is that the mana cost is now 65, which is a rank 4 previously mana cost. So that's actually pretty big. So we're gonna see how that pans out. Anything with mana cost tends to be a bigger nerf than it seems. So dragons. This is a very very small tune-up. Well, honestly, the Inferno is probably the biggest one, but it's probably really rare that you'd get even, you know, 4 Infernals. Like in general, all these changes is just like they do exactly what they do. Like Infernal's still AD. It's just they're they're like 20% or 10% less effective in terms of even base damage, base healing, base resistances, and even the scaling. Just so that they're not so overpowering. They're still very very strong. It's just they were potentially too strong, and like for example, the whole Dragon Soul concept. I mean, it's a bit like I was gonna say something like I'm not gonna say that. I'm not. I was gonna say something and get into that, but I'm not gonna really talk about that. Another big change though was Elder Dragon has been nerfed to 150 seconds from 180, so it doesn't match Baron anymore. And Elder Dragon burn damage now deals quite a bit less damage. It's 90 to 270, and now it's 75 to 225. So I mean, in general, that's really all this is. Is just like literally like 10 to 20% changes on things. So don't really worry too much about this. It'll still feel the same. It's just minor adjustments. Lethality. Apparently the passive of that item was really useful for people. Apparently, so they gave a bit more AD to the stray Dirk 5 more, which is nice. And the Edge of Night has 5 more AD, which is very nice because I felt like maybe it could use a little bit of something. I still think it's a very strong item. Like even on champions like Rek'Sai or Vi, it might be a very viable thing to go Warrior into this item instead of getting like on Vi Warrior Trinity Force or Rek'Sai Warrior Black Cleaver or even Asterix. Like if you were to go the Warrior Sterix route on Rek'Sai, you could potentially just do Warrior into this item. Just because, again, Sterix isn't. Sometimes people overrate Sterix because a lot of times people do their burst, your Sterix will proc, and nothing will happen. Especially if you rush it. Sterix as a third or fourth item tends to be very strong compared to a second item. Second item tends to be like unless you're like more coordinated going for those big tower dives because it's very rare you'll even make use of the passive. And again, the passive scales with bonus H health, which it does scale with itself. So on Rek'Sai you could potentially do a warrior, Edge of Night, and Sterix build, which probably would be pretty good. Although you're missing on CDR, so it depends. Um, that was what I mentioned. Any big bug fixes? Oh, here's another big one. Uh, Alawi's E Tesla Spirit can no longer pull spirits of targets protected by Morgana's E Black Shield. So again, it's sort of like the Darius change. Sometimes the bug fixes are actually huge gameplay fixes and potential counters to champions. Another big thing is using Oracle Lens as Evelyn will not break her camouflage from passive Demon Shade. So now you can buy it and walk around and let your teammates clear out things. Although it'd probably be pretty obvious that there's an Evelyn there if you're using that. So I don't know. It could be. I mean, it's just a usability thing because it would just be unfortunate. It's just unfortunate if you use it and you appear. I also wonder if you yeah, if you use it, it'll probably show the wards disabled. It just won't show Evelyn because I believe when someone uses it, it disables the ward, and you can only see who it is if they're attacking it. So you won't know who it is until they attack it. And maybe, yeah. So maybe if someone attacks it, maybe it's not so obvious as Evelyn, but it's still a hint. And enemies that walk over an empowered sapling will no longer gain vision of Maokai. That's funny. When no one only plays Maokai anyway. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.